Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we got some food for you and what we had for dinner this week. I was using my slow cooker. I had a pot roast, gonna throw the usual onion soup mix on top, some carrots on the bottom, and I set it on low I think for quite a while. I did boil it a little bit because it was frozen, so that's why it already looks like it's kind of cooked. So here it is a few hours later. I honestly don't know how long ago it was, or how long I had it in there for. At least 6-7 hours. Then I turned it off and just let it sit there for a bit, and then we had some leftover roasted potatoes. I love doing this with leftover potatoes. Just chop them up, throw them in a frying pan with some oil. You can add extra spices in it if you want, and they just crisp up. They're just really good. It's almost like home fries, I guess, except better because they were already roasted and they weren't like deep fried. They're really good. Of course, you need to have some gravy. I took some of the juice from the roast, and instead of using the cup of water, I used the juice, and it's actually really good. And I had some peas that needed to get used up. Sometimes the kids like peas, sometimes they don't. This time they don't. The gravy's almost done. And then once everything was done, I then pulled this guy out, and it's just... I kind of like shredded him apart. I've never actually had one work out really like good for me in the slow cooker. Maybe I just didn't have the onion soup mix. This is my first time using it like that. Then it was really good. Everybody enjoyed it, except for Ethan. He's not a really big meat eater. It just fell apart really, really easy. I would definitely do this again and make sure I have onion soup mix on hand. Oh yeah, and then I threw some of the juice on top. It was really good. And this was it, just all set out. This was actually our Thanksgiving dinner. I had that video already, only because it was for those stuffing balls, so that was already posted, but this is what I had that pot roast with. And with the leftover beef, the next day we made some steak quesadillas. I like kind of almost was like a Philly cheesesteak, I guess. I did the green peppers and fried that up with some mushrooms. And it was just so yummy. I can't remember which kind of cheese I used. I might have used Swiss cheese for mine and my husband's, and then cheddar cheese for Miss Paige. Ethan doesn't do quesadillas. I don't even know what he had that day. He might have just had the meat. Maybe not, because he doesn't like meat sometimes. He only likes like ground beef, like in tacos or meat sauce. That's it. Or sometimes, no, he likes it in sandwiches too. Like sandwich meat. Ham. He only likes ham. Sometimes he likes salami. So that was it, all mixed up together, just fried up. I did put a little bit of the juices that were left over. Heat up your pan, get your little tortilla in there, or whatever size you use. Throw in however much you like. I forgot the cheese. There, yeah, I did use Swiss cheese. There we go. So that would have probably been my husband's with the mushrooms. Or mine. I don't know. I didn't do mushrooms for Miss Paige. What am I looking for here? I don't know. Oh, my tongs probably. And then just let it golden up a bit. Flip it around. I kind of flip mine almost constantly because I don't want it to get burnt. And again, just a little bit of oil. You can use whatever you like. I don't know, oil is just the best that I've found so far to do these. And that one I use cheddar cheese for Miss Paige. And just use your pizza cutter and slice them all up. And they were so good. Look at that melted cheese in there. Oh, this was a bigger tortilla size. I only cut that in half for my husband. Anyways, this one was mine. I love quesadillas with salsa and sour cream. It was very good. And next up, we have some French onion soup. I love doing bacon in it. My father-in-law, actually, I just learned this from him. I've never made French onion soup until one time he came over when he was staying with us for a couple weeks. Because he lives far, far away from us. Like across the country, far, far away. So slice up your bacon. Whoops, didn't cut that out. And then fry it up. I've noticed that a lot of people will like cook their bacon like you would normally, like in full-size pieces. I just find that, and then cut it up, I just find that cutting it up before I cook it is easier. And of course, with French onion soup, you can't forget the onions. I have a sweet onion here. Just chopped it up, however fine or thick you like it. I'm not a big onion fan, so I made sure I chopped them up a little bit smaller. And there's the bacon. So good. I love bacon. And then once those are all done, take that out. Don't drain the fat because you're going to use it to cook your onions in. Then once your onions have softened up a bit, add your bacon back in. And I still did not drain the fat, because why not? Keep it. It's flavorful. Look how good that looks. So good, and my house smells so amazing. My kids don't eat it, but they love the smell of it. They've tried it before, but they don't like it because it has onions in it. And this recipe called that I was trying to follow, even though I said wasn't following a recipe, I learned it from my father-in-law, called for a red wine and beef broth. So, but I had this broth already with red wine in it, I guess. I'm guessing it's non-alcoholic. Either way, alcohol burns off anyways. So I just added that. Yeah, you can't buy beef broth with real alcohol. I don't know what it is, what kind of red wine. Maybe it's like de-alcoholized or something. I don't know. I'm just rambling now. And this was the baguette that I used on top. Is cheddar and onion. I would not use that one again because it tasted too chivy. Does that make sense? There it is in my little soup bowls. Make sure your broiler's on. I know some people like to use like slices on top. What did I use? Swiss cheese. There it is, and it was so, so good. And this next day, it wasn't really kind of for dinner. I just wanted to try something out. It's called a rustic squash tart. You're going to need your butternut squash, your acorn squash, some water, olive oil, thyme, parsley, salt, pepper, all-purpose flour, ground pecans, sugar, nutmeg, cinnamon, a frozen puff pastry, 1 egg beaten, and some butter. Peeling and cutting this was not too bad, But when, oh my gosh, I got to the acorn squash, I've never had to peel one before. Usually I just cut them in half, scoop everything out, and just bake them in the oven. But this recipe called that you had to peel it and slice it, which I've never done before, and I'll never do again because it was a pain in the butt trying to get into all those little grooves. So then you gotta bake it till it's tender, crisp, in nice slices. I don't think I put anything. Oh yeah, you just toss them a little bit of oil. Oh, not yet. Oh, after they're all cooked, then you put them in the bag with your parsley, thyme, your oil, I guess your salt and pepper if you use salt and pepper, and then you just let it sit in there for a little bit. I don't know how long I had it in there for. Oh, my puff pastry was still like really frozen, so however long it took to defrost, that's how long those were sitting in there for. It took quite a few hours. So here's all those dry ingredients: the salt, pepper, flour, pecans, the sugar, and nutmeg, cinnamon. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. And the package came with 2 squares of the puff pastry, but I don't know if you were supposed to use 2 of them or just 1 of them. So I ended up rolling out both of them, but it didn't seem like it was big enough, so I ended up doing, wait a minute, I ended up rolling out 2, I ended up rolling out both of them on top of each other, just like that, just so it would be, I don't know, a little bit thicker, sturdier. Anyways, sprinkle your dry ingredients on the puff pastry, layer your squashes every other one, switch them up a bit. And then you just fold in the sides. And then you brush the pastry with an egg. And then you dot the squash with butter and bake at 375 for 35 to 40 minutes or until golden brown. Oh, it says yields 2 tarts. I didn't read that. No wonder I had so much squash left over. And I could have used the second puff pastry to make a second tart. But that's okay. It was okay. It was good, but Miss Paige didn't like the acorn squash. We only liked the butternut squash, and I don't know, they cooked differently. Anyways, it was really good. I kind of forgot about it, and it kind of burnt around the edges, so it's a little bit extra golden brown and crispy, but it was still good. The pastry underneath the squashes were really yummy. Anyways, that's it. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy.